tens of thousands of Canadians reacted with anger at the decisions that the media made to cave into the backroom threats of Jack Layton and Stephen Harper and try to keep me out of the debates. I'm in those debates, and it's not because all the people who protested were Green Party supporters. That was what's so beautiful about it. It was nonpartisan. It was above and beyond partisanship. It was people saying that there's things that are fair and things that are grossly unfair. And what the backroom threats of Mr. Harper and Mr. Layton attempted to do was so manifestly unfair once we'd cleared every other hurdle that had ever existed for keeping a party out of the national leaders' debates. And with the support of Canadians in that beautiful expression of commitment to fairness, to democracy, and even a party that they might not have been considering voting for, or to which they knew that they would absolutely never vote for. They knew that it was grossly unfair. It offended their fundamental sense of what it meant to live in a democratic society in the 21st century. And I'm so grateful to all the Canadians who protested. That showed that we can make a difference. Think about it. That's the first time anything has ever made Stephen Harper back down. From Agassiz to Mission, BC, through to Melville, Saskatchewan, and Saskatoon, and today, you wouldn't have believed the crowd. Yesterday in Sioux Lookout, I need to tell you people in Toronto something. Leo Bernier, the former member of Bill Davis's government, 23 years in Queen's Park as a progressive conservative, was there on the platform to support the Green Party. We held a press conference about the need for Canada to stop undermining, which Mr. Harper is now doing, undermining international treaties to move forward for nuclear disarmament. I was joined by Canada's former ambassador for disarmament, who is himself a former progressive conservative member of Parliament, a former progressive conservative senator, and the Honourable Doug Roach, and I did not expect this, stood next to me and said, Canada needs the Green Party. It's the only party putting forward the kind of vision for a better world on climate change and the threat of nuclear war that is urgently needed. So come on, progressive conservatives, join now. Who I know will get the perennial question that I get, on the average of several thousand times a day, whether we are worried about vote splitting and won't we help Mr. Harper get back into 24 Sussex Drive.
No way.
Ask them this. If we were going to help him by being in the debates, why did he threaten to boycott the debates a full 4 months before Mr. Dion and I agreed on any form of limited cooperation? 4 months before there was any, even as small as it is, leaders' courtesy agreement between Mr. Dion and myself. Stephen Harper said that if I was included, he would boycott. Now, I don't know about you, but I've noticed that Stephen Harper is, to put it kindly, a control freak. And he, in terms of politics, he makes calculations down to the nth degree. So the idea that he would casually say that he would boycott the debates if I was included, while firmly believing that our presence in the debates would help him get elected, it doesn't add up. And please turn the question back on everyone and ask whether it doesn't seem more likely that Stephen Harper sees what's happening and what was happening in Guelph when he pulled the plug the day before the by-election, where we were at Mike Nagy, 24% of support, Conservatives 12% of support. We need to get the message out that we're going after Stephen Harper's vote. media referring to Mr. Harper being close to a majority, I think it's time that we contacted anyone who makes that statement and say, please clarify it and be truthful. Stephen Harper will never have anything but a minority approaching a third of the votes in this country. And when you say in the news media he's flirting with majority government, always put in the important qualifier to make sure the statement is true. A false majority based on a perverse voting system called first past the post that could possibly allow a situation where someone with the minority of public support could get the most seats in the House of Commons. That system must be changed. Remember that in the year 2008, against all odds, the Green Party got what it wanted. Members in the House of Commons and a government not led by Stephen Harper. So embrace our platform, take the message that we're forward-looking and looking forward, and explain to people, it's not personal. It's just that Stephen Harper represents a threat to the planet, and we do think that's rather important for us to confront. I'm perfectly prepared to believe the new improved Stephen Harper in the blue sweater is a family man. Let's be generous. Let's be kind. Give him more time with his family. From coast to coast, and all I can do is promise you this, that our participation in this election is dedicated to democracy, not to partisan advantage, not to mean-spirited politics. It's dedicated to resurrecting the idea that people in politics are there to serve, that we're here to work towards the common good, that we work in our issues not for our own short-term partisan advantage, but that we're looking forward so that we will know that when our children and their grandchildren look back to this election in 2008, they will condemn us for our short-sightedness, our indifference, our greed, our apathy. They'll look back at the election of 2008 and they will thank us. Thank you.